I need to drink water. It's not easy. I forgot what I was gonna say. Oh God. Yeah, I can't remember. Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Miriam if this is your first time coming on here. So in today's video, I'm guessing by the title you already know what I'm gonna talk about. Yay! I got my PR in Canada after a long journey. Like after almost a year plus, like a year and a couple of months. I got it a while back, but this video couldn't come out before now. I'm so grateful to God. I'm so thankful and I'm just so happy. Like, I don't have to worry about being here and going back and forth between Canada and the UK. It's just very exciting to know that yes, now I am a permanent resident of Canada. So I'm going to get into my timeline for anyone interested. Yeah, let's get into the video. So I have a note in front of me just so I don't forget the dates and the timeline. Just for anyone, I use the spousal sponsorship route, which means my husband was already in Canada. He was already a PR holder, so he was able to sponsor me. I came from the UK, although I'm a French citizen, so my passport is French. And if you're European, you know that you can come to Canada for up to 6 months as a visitor at a time. So you can do 6 months, leave, then do 6 months and go back. However, you won't be able to work, you won't be able to really feel like a resident here because it is what it is, you're just a visitor. So I did that, then we got married in Canada and we started the process. I know there's another process for European citizens, which is EIC, Experience International Canada, or IEC. I'm not sure now, but I'll leave the link down below so you can check on that. So if you're a European citizen and you don't have your partner here, but you just want to move to Canada for a couple of years to see how you like the country and be able to work, very important, you can use the Experience International Experience Canada or Experience International Canada. I don't know what it's called now. I tried to use that, however it was during COVID. When I registered, I was already in the pool and all of a sudden they cancelled it because they were not processing it at that time. It was on pause. So I waited for a couple of months, that didn't show up again. So the other option that we thought that would be easier for me was to use the spousal. However, because it was already in Canada, I was in the UK, we were not legally married at the time. When I moved to Canada, we got married. We were planning to get married anyways, like we were already engaged, so it wasn't like we got married for that. So we got married legally and we could start processing my PR. At the same time, when you use a spousal to start processing your PR, you can apply for a work permit, which is going to be an open work permit that allows you to work with any company. So when I paid for my PR sponsorship, I paid for my work permit as well. But I'll get into that because the work permit didn't come like on time. It was, by the time I got my work permit, it was kind of like a bit too late. So let's get into the timelines. So my initial submission was March 2021. I submitted all my document. We decided to do our documentation ourselves, so we didn't have a representative or agent doing it for us. We just decided to fill the document ourselves and represent ourselves. One thing about my husband is very good with documents. If it was just me, God knows I would have mixed up everything, but he's a very patient person and is good at that. So yeah, that saved us a bit of money because we didn't have to go through agent. So we submitted initially March 2021. That was when we sent our document, and I'm telling you guys, there's like 100 document to fill. Like they ask about everything. They ask about your mom, your father, your family, your siblings, like everything. And you have to do like police report. You have to give your educational background, your work background, where any address you've lived, I think in the past 10 years or 5 years. It was just long, and every break you've had, like living in a place. At some point I was in Nigeria, so I had to declare that. One thing about Canada process that I've heard is don't forget anything, because if you forget something, they will count it as you're hiding it, and that could affect your application. So just make sure you say everything. Like, even some things that are not clear, you can put like a letter of explanation and explain in the letter, like, oh, just so they're not confused. So yeah, filling everything. I think legit there was like 100 copies that we had to fill, and you have to pay for the PR application as well. I think it was around 1,000 something. I'm going to leave the price that we paid on the screen. Then you have to apply for your work permit, which is about $120. So that's an additional fee if you want to apply for the work permit, which I did as well. So I'll leave all the prices on the screen so you guys can see. So we submitted. They said it took a while. They said they saw our application. Then we're just waiting, and the waiting game begins. And you wait, and you wait, and you wait. And all this time, I was frustrated. Like, I was so tired of waiting, because remember, I didn't have a work permit, so I couldn't work. Then, like, I was so frustrated, so frustrated. Like, I think I was actually losing my mind. And at some point, I decided to go to the UK for a couple of weeks. Then I came back because I just wasn't feeling well. So I'm thankful to God I could do that. Like, I had enough money to go back and just see my friends and families, then come back. Although some people say you can't travel when you're doing your PR process. Personally, I traveled and nobody questioned me when I was coming back. But I think you can travel for a couple of weeks or days. So don't travel and go and be spending 6 months. You too. Well, actually, don't do too much. But yeah, I think you can travel and spend a couple of days or weeks. Again, that's up to you. Some people are really scared of traveling because they feel like, oh, it's gonna affect the application. Mine didn't affect. Even, in fact, at the airport, the immigration officer told me that my PR is still in process, because it was like, oh, the last time you stayed, you spent more than 6 months. So I was able to spend more than 6 months, because when you submit your PR application, you're under impaired status, which means you can stay longer. You can stay until your application get rejected or approved, or you get response from your application. So you can stay more than 6 months, compared to if you're just European and visiting, and you have to stay 6 months at a time. So I explained to him, and he just let me go, and he stamped my passport and say, oh, next time just stay 6 months, and if you don't hear anything, stay 6 months and come back again, whatever. But yeah, I was able to stay more than 6 months. That's just my decision. You might not want to. Then in November, my application got returned. Like, the whole package was shipped back to me. So let's not confuse this. That doesn't mean my application was rejected, because they haven't made a decision. They just returned the document. And the reason why they returned the document, because they will put a letter on the top and tell you why they returned it. Mine was because one signature, like one single signature, was missing. Like, I was just like, really? And this is me after spending 8 months waiting for my application, just waiting for 8 months. My application was returned because of one signature. So again, maybe these are things that if you use an agent, you'll be able to capture, but I don't know about the agent, because I know someone that used the agent and the agent did rubbish, so I'm not gonna go there. But yeah, we forgot one signature and they returned the whole document after 8 months. In December, we sent it back, because I think they returned it around like end of November. So in December, we sent it back after signing, of course, the page that signature was missing. 30th of December, we received acknowledgement of receipts. That means they received our application and they're probably working on it, but they've received it. They don't send like AOR, like acknowledgement, immediately they receive it. Like, it still take them a couple of weeks. So by the time you're receiving that, they've probably received it like a couple of weeks before. And I received my work permit 4 months after. The 12th of April, I received the work permit. you know what, I was so excited because I wasn't even bothered about the PR, because I'm like, we submitted everything, we said everything. In your PR application, they'll ask you like pictures of you and your husband in the past 5 years or something like that. So we've given everything we have. So I'm like, there's no way they're gonna reject me. But I just need this work permit to be able to work in Canada. Like, I just need this work permit, because during this time I was applying for jobs outside Canada in Europe, because I'm European, so I can work like in Europe anyways. So I was applying, but it was really difficult because between Canada and Europe there's 6 hours difference. So imagine I get a job in France, I'll be waking up 6 hours before, or I'll be I don't know, it's just gonna be messed up. So I was looking for a job, but at the same time I was like, I know if like it's gonna be stressful. And all this time I was doing content collaboration, like international, abroad and stuff. So that's the way I was using to bring in some of the incomes. And thankfully my business was still there, my business like was running, so I was like monitoring my business and doing that. Thankfully that it was doing really well. So but I just wanted to get back to my career. The reason why I said by the time I got my work permit it was too late, because my PR was approved 1 week after. So I'm like, these people, they intentionally gave me my work permit first before giving my PR, because if they don't give you your work permit before your PR, you can ask for a refund. Maybe they don't want a refund, maybe, you never know. So my PR thankfully was approved 19th of April, which was a week after my work permit, and I got the portal confirmation the next day. And from the time that I submitted my application again to the time my PR was approved was about 4 months. So usually people say your PR application would take about 4 to 6 months, but because I did mine during COVID, so it took longer. They were using like COVID was the excuse, so I guess that's why it took longer. So I'm guessing the standard wait time should be between 4 and 6 months. 3 months after I received my PR card, which was exciting. So after like you receive your confirmation online, you get the ECO PR, which is electronic confirmation of PR, and they ask you to go and do your biometrics and take your pictures and all of that. So you do that, then they send you your PR card. The wait was long, but it was worth it, to be honest. I think that's the quickest way I could have used as European to get my PR, because if I've done like the Experience International Canada, that would have only given me 2 years visa and work permits, which means every 2 years I'll have to reapply again and pay again and do the whole process again, which I didn't want to go through. So I decided to use the Spousal because my husband was already here, and thankfully he was willing to do that for me. Don't be surprised, some partners will want to do that for you. Okay, my camera died, so I don't know why I stopped, but I think I finished saying everything. So it took me about a year plus roughly, the whole waiting, but as soon as everything started going as normal, it took like 4 months. So yeah, that's the process that I use. If you have any question regarding spousal sponsorship, leave it in the comment section below and I can tell you, because we did our own process ourselves, so I can tell you anything that I know about that. Thank you for watching, and if you like this video, please make sure you thumbs up, comment, like, share, do everything. I'm really like trying to be consistent. I have like a new setup for my video, so hopefully, fingers crossed, I can just come, sit down and get my video done and edit and keep it moving. So yeah, thank you for watching, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye guys.